so beautiful. How was Hawaii, man?
Fucking tough to come home from. Every time I go there, it gets harder to leave. Like, what did I play? I played a round of golf on a fucking mountain. And, man, there's nothing better for your golf game than being 1,500 feet above sea level. I'll tell you that much.
Welcome, Absurdists, to our YouTube channel. Joining me, as always, Brandon Andreessen of the Fancy Boys Club. Brandon, how are you doing today?
Man, just another day in paradise. How about you?
Another day in paradise, says the man who just got back from Hawaii, which is also why we've been on hiatus, guys.
My apologies. I was supposed to take a microphone to Hawaii. It was the last thing I forgot to pack.
Well, that's fine. Honestly, I don't know that you should have had the I don't know that you should have had a microphone. Don't spend your time worrying about bad football and bad jokes when you could be doing whatever the fuck you want in Hawaii, man.
And I can assure you there was plenty of bad football going on these past 2 weeks.
Oh, God, so much bad football. I'm about done with the Bears.
Yep, I'm about my wit's end with them. I was cleaning up my bedroom the other day. I found a betting slip I'd had before the season. A buddy of mine went to Vegas. It was for the Falcons to win the Super Bowl, so I went ahead and threw that away.
Speaking of, while we're on the subject, if we're going to talk about bad football, let's start with our first topic. Let's just get right into it.
Bring it on.
The worst team. Which team is going to get their first win? Are the Bengals or the Dolphins? Who gets there first? Brandon?
Here's the thing about the Bengals. They might be the most forgettable winless team in the history of the NFL. Most winless teams are spectacularly bad, but for whatever reason, the Bengals are showing a baseline level of just mediocrity almost. Like it almost feels like they should have 2 or 3 wins, like they could.
Yeah, they don't get the doors blown off them. They just don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, they've outside of the Steelers and the 49ers game, they haven't lost a single game by more than 2 touchdowns. They're staying in it. It's not like they're getting just absolutely whopped by like the Dolphins are, or even the Jets are getting just the completely blown up every week. They're there, but I do find it odd that as we're doing this a couple hours ago, it was reported that they're benching Andy Dalton. So they seem really serious about going winless because Andy Dalton might not be great, but Andy Dalton, I think I referred to him in my power rankings today as he is the bell curve of quarterbacks. Any quarterback better than Andy Dalton is a good quarterback. Any quarterback worse than Andy Dalton is a bad quarterback.
Yeah, the Andy Dalton line.
But, all right, so the question is, who wins first? Do you think the Dolphins win a game first or the Bengals win a game first?
Honestly, I kind of wonder if it's going to get settled in Week 16 when
baby.
When the Bengals and the Dolphins show down.
0-15 versus 0-15, or 0-14 versus 0-14. Bring it on for all the marbles.
I will tell you right now, if that is actually a game, if they're both winless when they get there and they don't flex that to the Sunday night game, the NFL is doing it wrong because
everybody wants to see that.
We absolutely want to see the worst of the worst. There's something about just a battle of ineptitude
Super Bowl of shittiness.
Yes, that's what I want to see. I just want to see I want to see 2 dumpster fires battle it out.
The only block in the way, and look at the Bengals schedule. The Bengals do have the Jets coming up, and they have the Browns coming up, which both teams are really, really goddamn bad. If you look over at the Dolphins schedule.
The Dolphins have the Jets coming up too.
So. Dolphins have the Jets this week.
Yep.
Then they have the Browns a few weeks after that.
Yep.
So,
and then they get the Jets again. They get 2 cracks at the Jets. Although the Jets are, I thought, weren't they talking about trading Le'Veon Bell? Did you hear those rumors today?
Yeah, we're going to go on a topic a little bit later on where I'm going to discuss this further. Yeah, but they had the Jets were leaked that they were discussing trading Le'Veon Bell and Jamal Adams. Possibly to the Cowboys. Neither happened, but it was very, very out of the Adam Gase playbook that this stuff got leaked today, just to let people know where they were at in his book.
Yeah, just to let everyone know that Adam Gase needs to be the center of attention, basically.
Well, and if you remember, before the season started, after Adam Gase successfully sabotaged the general manager of the Jets and got him fired, he went around saying that Le'Veon Bell wasn't his guy. It was the GM's guy, and he went against it. So if the Le'Veon Adam Gase wants nothing more than the Le'Veon Bell thing to not work out right now.
It's insanity. It really is. But you know what? Adam Gase, I think we've established this in episodes before. Terrible and everything he gets. And it's too bad because I actually think Darnold's going to be a good quarterback. And I think the next few weeks he might shine because of the terrible matchups he has with teams like the Bengals and the Dolphins.
It's definitely possible, but at the same time, when the ship's being steered by a guy like Adam Gase, nothing is off the table.
Yeah,
this team could very well finish the year 1-15.
So let's settle on which one do you think gets their first win, the Bengals or the Dolphins?
As much as I am dreaming of that Week 16 match where they play each other at 0-14, I'm saying it ends Sunday. Jets, Dolphins, Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to go out there. He's going to play just well enough. The Dolphins are going to get the win. They're going to beat the Jets at home. And I believe that we're going to all the fun's going to go away because the Bengals just aren't as interesting as a bad team.
See, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to say we're going to make it to our Week 16 match showdown, and then it's going to end in a tie, and both teams still go without winning. Two defeated teams. That's what I'm rooting for.
Will it's all happen? I want in life.
Probably not.
All I want.
That would be amazing. If you flexed it in and they tied, oh my God, it'd be amazing. It'd be the best. So
it would be the greatest.
And in the opposite direction,
yep,
we got two teams that are completely defeated, and we have two undefeated teams. We have the 49ers and the New England Patriots. So the question is, which team gets their first loss?
Well, let me first state that I hope both teams go undefeated throughout the season and meet in the Super Bowl, because to me that would create the greatest moment ever. That means the remaining idiots on the 1972 Miami Dolphins can't pop their champagne anymore. Yes. I'm sick of this crap. I'm sick of it on TV talking about it. That dredged out of a Lake Manatee. I'm sick of hearing any other words about his mouth out of the 1972 Dolphins, one of the most overrated teams in NFL history, but they still get brought up because they went undefeated and nobody else has done it. Somebody do it this year. The Patriots haven't. The 49ers look like they're on the rise. Somebody's got to do it. I desperately want it. But honestly, the 49ers are the team that I believe are going to lose first. The Patriots earlier in the year, I thought this is where they were going to stumble coming up. They do have the Ravens this week, who are a good team, but the Patriots are fourth in the NFL against the run. Even though they've been playing a bunch of JV teams, I think they can stop the run. And after that, they have the Eagles and the Cowboys, and the Eagles and the Cowboys are both absolute frauds of football teams. The 49ers, on the other hand, do have the Cardinals this week, but after that, they have the Seahawks, a rematch against the Cardinals. Then they have the Packers, the Ravens, and the Saints. Back to back to back. They are going to stumble at some point. I do think the 49ers are the first team to trip out of this one. The Patriots' schedule has broken just way too easily for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, you just look at the difference in schedules between the Patriots and the 49ers, and it's actually I kind of think the undefeated 49ers are more impressive to this point. Their run, what did they? I can't remember the number. It was like they've given up like 68 points on the year. Is that the Patriots I'm thinking of, though? No,
you're thinking of the Patriots. The Patriots have given up 7.6 points on the year so far, which is they're on pace currently to break the 2000 Ravens record for fewest points given up in a season.
Yeah, that's what it is I'm thinking of. I'm getting that.
But it's not like the 49ers or anything to say about their last 3 games. They've given up 3 points, 7 points, 0 points, 13 points.
That's what I was thinking of. 23 points over the last 4 weeks. That defense is legit. That running attack is good. I honestly, but the wins that they've accrued, like it's not like the 49ers have had that soft a schedule. Although, actually, I take that back. I mean, because Carolina was kind of a fraud, and I think we saw that this week. The Rams, though, they went in there and they owned them. But yeah, actually. I mean, it's better than what the Patriots have faced, but Tampa Bay, Cincy, Pitt, Cleveland,
Buccaneers.
Washington, those are. It's actually been a pretty soft schedule, and it's about to get real for them. But I mean, it's still tougher than the Giants, the Jets, Cleveland, and Miami and Pitt. Like, yeah, basically these both teams that are undefeated had pretty soft schedules, and I think there's a couple of losses in both of those. But I think the first loss is actually going to come this week to the Ravens because Baltimore just kind of has New England's number. It's just one of those things. That's a team that plays the Patriots well.
That could be. The way I look at it is some of the people that I'm seeing, and here's how I kind of base, and I base a lot of my gambling on this. And I look at a bunch of people that that's just random fans, and I look at what they're all saying. And you watch the ones who you always know are trying to be the most clever person in the room that don't they don't do anything related with football. Like they don't write, they don't anything about it. They just have opinions about it, and unlike us, we get in front of the cameras and do it, but they don't. But you find some that always think they're the smartest person in the room, and every person who seems to think they're the smartest person in the room thinks that the Ravens are going to win this week. You know who the smartest person in every room is?
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick.
Yep.
And I genuinely think he's going to find a way to win this one. I think there's not enough faith, in fact, being had in Bill Belichick to pull this one out. It's only a 4.5-point spread in the game, or a 4-point spread in the game. I would definitely take the Patriots. I'll be putting money on it. I'll be betting them against the spread.
Where's the money going right now?
Oh, the heavy money's going to the Ravens right now.
Really?
But the Sharps, who are going to come in late, will probably push the line back up to 5 points. So if you like it at 4 and you're concerned about that extra point, go ahead and get it right now, the Patriots. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, the obvious parlay this week is to parlay the Patriots, the Packers, and the Colts. I think all three teams are playing on very tight lines. All three teams, I think, are going to comfortably win this week. You want to make some quick money, you want to quadruple up your cash, go ahead and bet that 3-team parlay however you can.
This is a nice time to point out that Brandon Andreessen, also contributor for Football Absurdity, read his article on his 30-team parlay article, where he breaks down weekly the gambling that you should be doing in the NFL. It's a good read.
Went 4-2 last week against the spread.
Nice. All right. So what's the next question, Brandon? I'll let you lead this time.
The next question is, we've kind of discussed it, and I think we've already really hit on it. What team is most likely to beat the Patriots and ruin their undefeated season? You're saying the Ravens right now. I'm going all the way out to December 8th when they are playing the Chiefs, national TV. Don't be surprised if it gets flexed to the 7 o'clock spot. Right now it's the 3 o'clock national game. By then, what we weren't expecting out of this Chiefs team this year was going to be them theoretically having to compete for a playoff spot. They have stumbled a little bit over the past few weeks. I do think they're going to figure it out. I do think they're going to get better. But I think that's going to be a much bigger must-win situation for them. So I'm saying the Patriots make it all the way into the second weekend of December before they take their first loss of the year.
And as you know, I think it's happening this week in Baltimore.
There you go. So one last question this week for everybody. That's between you and me. We discussed it a little bit earlier. But who do you think right now in play, not been fired yet, is the worst coach in the NFL? Waleed.
No question. Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, you are hot trash right now. You are a defensive coordinator. Your defense has given up more points than the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, who are deliberately trying to lose games, and you are trying to save your job. Are you kidding me? No, Dan Quinn is by far the worst coach in the NFL right now. I don't even know that there's anyone in competition with him.
The Falcons are an absolute disaster of a football team. The fact that they wait until the third quarter of every game before they even make an attempt to make a comeback, before they make an attempt to get their offense going, shows how badly planned every game is coming out of the gate by Dan Quinn, by Dirk Cutter, by whoever's about to be fired as the defensive coordinator of that team. It is a full coaching effort there of just awful. But I'm going to bring this in real close.
Their defensive coordinator, I believe, is actually Dan Quinn.
Well, there you go. But I'm going to bring this in really sweetly because I'm going to bring up my worst enemy in all of football, who I've mentioned before. Adam Gase, you are a fraud. Everybody knows it. You made your entire reputation off having 6 games of good quarterbacking by Josh McCown in like 2014. That's all it took for you to get a head coaching job. You alienated everyone from your players to the front office in Miami. And when you got fired, Somehow, some way, you were able to work your way into another position in the NFL, not just a coordinator position, but you got the Jets to fall for your bullshit act and give you another job in the NFL. Are you fucking kidding me? We all know you're a fraud. We all saw you in Chicago. The moment you couldn't hack it anymore, you were gone. You fucked off to another city. We all know better. We've seen it. And now you're pulling the same nepotism routine. You have that little 4-foot munchkin, Dowell Loggins, coming to be your yes man at every location you go to. He isn't qualified to be a quarterbacks coach in the XFL, yet he's your offensive coordinator on a week-to-week basis. It is an absolute joke. And straight out of your playbook, you got the general manager who hired you 3 months prior fired after they signed Le'Veon Bell, after you let him do the draft, just so you wouldn't have to take any responsibility for if the team sucked. Meaning that if the team was good, you got all the credit. If the team was bad, you took none of the credit. That is straight out of the Adam Gase playbook. You are a loser, and you refuse to take any responsibility for your actions, you feckless twit. We all know you're a fraud, and you are going to continue to be exposed as the Jets are going to continue to suck until you are fired and they bring somebody in that knows how to coach a quarterback, because God knows right now, Sam Darnold is being wasted by your sorry ass. Adam Gase, you aren't just the worst quarterback or the worst coach in the NFL. You are on the Mount Rushmore of worst coaches in the NFL. Look out, Wayne Fonts. There is a new contender.
And that is the Football Absurdity YouTube channel for Week 9. Joining me as always is the president of the Adam Gase fan club, Brandon Anderson. Thank you guys for joining us. Brandon, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, you can always follow me on Twitter and send me your hate mail over on Twitter at the B-Man. You can also find me every week, every Tuesday. I do my weekly NFL Power Rankings on FantasyBoysClub.com. And you can check me out every Monday. We do a mailbag segment on Fantasy Boys Club, myself along with stand-up comedian Jack Baker. We answer questions about all things going on in the NFL. You can check it out there. Waleed, where can we find you?
You can find me right at footballabsurdity.com. And I am on Twitter at I am the Waleed. And I don't have anything too exciting going on, just my normal articles that you'll see. And I think that's it. Guys, thank you for joining us. You've been a fun audience if you've actually watched us. And thank you and good nights.